All right, welcome to this podcast episode, The Climb, the first episode of our podcast, where we have an amazing guest today. And in this episode, we will be talking about a journey from being invisible to being influential. And we have a guest who is known as Anna in the staffing industry, specifically in the US staffing industry, Anoop Ramchandran. Anoop, welcome to our show, and we are very glad that you are here. How are you doing today?
It has been an amazing day for me. Thank you so very much, Rahul, for having me today. And actually, the privilege is for me, being invited by you because you are the person who introduced me to the USIT staffing. So I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Yes, yes. I remember back in 2007, probably. Yes. You have an amazing journey, my friend. And I would want our listeners to know about your journey. So, if you can share with our audience what you have been doing lately and how your professional journey has shaped till today, that would be amazing.
Sure, Rahul. So as we speak today, I am the head of business operations at one of the leading USIT staffing agency based out in US that is called ProKatchers. Okay, and I started my journey in staffing in year 2007. You are the person who interviewed me, and you gave me that opportunity, or probably the platform for me, where I was very naive. I was having no goals or objectives, or probably I was not in that position to decide what exactly to do with my life. But it was an amazing journey with the previous organization where we both used to work. I started as an operations associate over there, and later on I moved training. Then I was part of training that was more of about the incubation, training, and deployment. And thereafter I was moved to corporate recruitment, then back to sales, then heading a business unit altogether under one of the most inspirational leader we both know, Mohit Malkani. Right, under his leadership, I was handling a business unit for him. Yeah, 2019, and thereafter ProKatchers happened to me. Again, it was a roller coaster. I mean, I was not much prepared to shift. Where I was into a very comfort zone where everything was on the fingertips, and thereafter moved to a place which was completely new. Total cultural shift was there. But yeah, I must say the journey was really thoughtful, and a lot of learning was there in last 5 years from where I started and where I am today, or the organization where I started my journey, and today the organization is there. I feel so much proud about my organization that despite of so much roller coaster, despite of so much ups and downs, despite of we facing COVID, financial depression, still we are standing very tall, and we are having a very promising future.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing with us the journey. And a couple of things I observed that you played multiple roles back then when you started your journey. So you challenge yourself, you define your comfort zone by moving from one team to another. And also, as I am learning from you, how you have focused on joining there's a startup and probably bringing the organization today where it is. So kudos to you, my friend. Thank you. Uh, from
Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you so very
so
much.
so now you have defined multiple times you have moved out of your comfort zone. Um, Tell us to our audience the moment in your early career where you felt unseen, you were not sure. Uh, Take us to that time frame.
Mhm.
What was happening then, and how did you respond?
Okay, so Yes, there has been moments uh, where I was felt unseen, unrecognized. Because again, I mean, that time I was in that learning phase. Okay, I was in that learning phase, and all we were focused about was perfectionism
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
turnaround time, and we were in a rush to complete those tasks. Now, to put that method to that madness, it was all here. Okay, and somehow, we had that belief that we will be able to do it. Why I'm doing of time, I understood this fact that clarity always beats the speed.
Yes.
Okay, it is actually doesn't make sense if you run without having a an aim or an objective. It is just like Usain Bolt is running, okay, but he doesn't have that finishing ribbon. Okay, he
Yeah.
keeps on running. It doesn't make sense. There has to be somewhere, there has to be that finishing ribbon to complete that race, and then you put that method, that how are you going to do it, right?
Absolutely.
So I realized it. Then I tried to get more clarity on my purpose. Then I started documenting things. Okay, I started speaking up, okay, in those meetings, okay, when these discussions are discussed, or discussions are happening. Because I come from a background where not much, the language got into this industry. Thereafter we realized, the importance of this language, and we started training ourselves. So at that time, when there was huge meetings conducted, we were feeling a lot of shy. Even though we had that idea, we couldn't articulate it properly. So that was one reason we never used to open up. But I realized it rather, it is okay. It is okay if you speak wrong. It is okay if you have that shaken voice. It is okay if you take stall. It is absolutely fine, but speak up. It is important to speak up, give your story, give your knowledge, and some or other way, maybe like out of those 10 decisions are making, one of those decision could be yours.
Sure, sure. No, I think you're bringing a very big point. So, what I hear from you is clarity beats speed. Amazing. And the other thing which I learned
Speed.
from you, Anoop, is that speak up. Don't just keep it to yourself because you never know what will work, what will not work. And in the previous question, you were talking about perfectionist, and it rings a bell to me because when I was in my early stage of career, that's where I was also focusing on, and I realized that there is no unicorn available. There is no purple squirrel. There is no
True.
perfect step actually. It's all work in progress. So thank you for bringing
Mhm.
up that point. So clarity beats speed, team. That is one of the bigger lesson that we just learned from Anoop. So clarity beats speed. So thank you, Anoop, for bringing that up. Now, what was one defining moment that if you have to talk about, what was that mental shift, mindset shift that helped you to build that confidence in you in your early stage of your career? What would that be? What would that one mindset shift?
So, one mindset shift was that was like waiting for validations. Okay, waiting
Mm,
for validations.
okay.
That every time when you do something, you always seek. Okay, probably it is somewhere in your subconscious mind that somebody will come and appreciate you, or say, oh my goodness, this is such a good job done. I mean, that this is something which I've come to see for the first time. So these are few expectations which we build when we do something which 100% agility or 100% perfect. So these are few little expectations which we build in our subconscious mind, and it it puts us into that waiting stage of validation.
Mm-hmm.
And when we do not get that validation, we doubt our consciousness, we doubt our purpose, or we doubt our clarity that probably I have not done this thing right, even though you have done it the best. Then second thing, mind shift happened was, was that consistency, showing up every day, consistency, showing up every day, that builds good credibility.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your superiors, your managers, your stakeholders will have that trust in you because you show up every day. Okay. And
Consistency.
you bring that consistency in your quality of work. Yeah. In your quality of work, and probably how you behave. Okay. When you are getting a certain task done. And feedbacks.
Feedback.
Feedbacks. Now, when I let me take you to point one, where I was talking about waiting for that validation. Okay, there is one caveat to it, that is feedbacks. That time, we were so much scared of feedbacks. Trust me, Rahul. We were like, oh my god. So we used to have half yearly reviews at that time. And at that time, there was a very formal way of giving that feedback. So coming from that HR or HRBP was like a very generic and subjective, in subjective nature, those feedbacks were there. I was very shit scared about it. But later on, over a period of time, I realized that this is not failure. The feedback is not failure. You did something wrong. Work upon it, improve it, and then move on. That has to be the process. But we used to stick to that particular phase for that entire year, thinking that this manager had built a perception about me, that I screwed up this work and he's not going to award me any other work. That was the perception in which we used to live. So that is completely a wrong thought process. Okay, feedbacks are not failures. Okay, feedbacks are always for your good,
Oh,
and you have to work upon it, you have to deliver it, and you have to move on.
awesome. Awesome. Very good.
So these were a little mindset shifts which I had. Hmm.
Very good, very good. So audience, so the first one he spoke about validation. So don't wait for any other person to validate. You need to have your own validation. That was one of the mindset shift that Anoop had. The second was
Hmm.
consistency, and I would focus on consistency in your own performance. That is number one. Consistency in your
Hmm.
behavior, number two, and also consistency in coming to office, right? On time, and here the way we say in states, on time is late. Before time is on time. So focus
Is more important.
being on meeting, being to office, and the feedback part that you were mentioning, and I truly resonate that with feedback sign of a failure. That was the initial mindset, and now the focus is feedback more as a fuel. Feedback, when you get feedback, it actually allows you to improve. If you don't get feedback, it is kind
Correct,
of a blind spot.
sir.
So so I think the key aspect that I would take from this conversation is feedback is not failure. So feedback, use feedback as a fuel.
True.
And and my recommendation would be don't wait for feedback to come to you. Go and ask for feedback, whether it is a colleague, whether it is your team
Hmm.
member, whether it is a superior. Don't wait for that 6 monthly appraisal to happen. Take immediate feedback. You want to know how your meeting went? Take immediate feedback. One-on-one meetings, team meetings. So amazing. Thank you, Anoop. Now, Anoop,
True.
you know about our climb framework. So, our climb framework has four leadership stages: invisible, potential, achiever, and influencer. Which one of these stage do you think do you resonates more with?
So I resonate with influence.
And what are you doing to sustain that? because as per our framework, what we talk about, if you're an influencer, you focus on magnifying your impact and building a legacy. How those two things are working for
Yes,
you?
sir. Sir, I mean, to put it in more simpler terms, uh, how I, put or give that impact, okay, to the people who are watching me, okay, in their day in life. So whatever decision I make, okay, be it for my people, be it for my clients, or be it for my on-site people, will this create a long-term value for them?
Long-term value. Okay.
If I'm able to, yeah, long-term value for them, be it for our people, here where I work with them in every day in my daily life, or I work with my on-site people in my day in life, or it be it for my clients, be it for my peers or vendors. Mm. So this is a major question I ask myself. Okay, that will this create a long-term value before I make any decision? And since I have started, using this or putting this into as an exercise for myself, I have seen a great impact in my people. I have seen that great impact in my people because I am not in a rush of making decisions. So that is what I teach my people or my immediate managers as well. They don't rush into those bigger decisions. Okay, ask this question, take a pause. Okay, ask this question to yourself, and if you are able to answer this question, okay, that will give you more confidence. Okay, to deliver it.
Absolutely.
This way, I think, I have empowered a lot of people around me. Okay, this is one practice which they are also using as on today, and it has created a greater impact in their life.
Awesome.
So the to resonate on the climb framework, the influence part has played a major role, in my growth.
Very good. Very good. And I think I wish all our leaders have the same thought process where whatever they're doing, and they're doing from a long-term impact perspective. So kudos to you and your leadership, my friend. I'm sure your your team members would be praising you for what you're doing for them. So great job. Now, before we move on to our fun segment, rapid fire segment, uh, I had this curiosity, Anoop. Why people call you Anna? When did you got this name? Can you share with our audience the history behind it? Who was the first person who gave that name? If you don't want to name them, that's fine. But take us to that, the time of your life when you got this name.
So Anna, one thing, what very first thing is very obvious that I belong to a beautiful state we call as Kerala,
Okay, yeah.
Nadu. So they address their brothers or anybody whom they are very close to. They address them as Anna. And I hope it's not a problem to take names, but it was Rubina Mundra, if you remember her.
Yes,
Rubina
yes.
Mundra, and even till today, even till today, when we talk, change started, and I was working as an operations associate, and I was linked to many departments. Okay, it was not just limited to the delivery team. It was to the shared services. It was for the delivery. It was for the sales. So we were in the center at that time, and I was the go-to person for a lot of people. Okay, so and I was not a difficult guy to work with.
Uh-huh,
So
yeah.
some or other way they started addressing me as Anna, that what, I'm stuck. I need your help. I'm stuck here. I'm stuck there. I want to make this candidate start. Help me out. So it started from there. So.
Awesome, awesome. Well, the only Anna I know is our Bollywood actor Sunil Shetty. So good to know this
Yeah.
lighter side about you. And yes, I think you also brought up another point that you were very easy to work with. And the kind of role that you played back then was working with multiple teams, multiple individual. And if I have to uh, label this episode, it would be more as from a collaboration as a catalyst. The way you collaborated with people, the way you collaborated with internal stakeholders, that's really brought the value for you back then. So continue to do that, my friend, and kudos to what you have done in the past, and kudos to what you have been doing today. Uh, there's one more thing coming to my mind.
Sure,
I
sure,
know
sir.
many of us, we learn the formal way of leadership when we actually got into the role. And my question to you, Anoop, is what would have changed if you would have got the leadership training, formal leadership training, before you became manager? How things would have changed for you, if any?
See the leadership traits of people like you, yourself, Mehul, and a lot of other leaders where we work very close at that time. And the way things have evolved, okay, I am right now in a dilemma whether it is a positive change which has happened or a negative change which has happened. But there has been a lot of struggle. Back then, the leadership was never about title. It was never about title. It was no, I mean, it was never even about those promotions. People used to wait for those promotions and all. Earlier stage, we had that, okay, it has been 2 years with the company. Now I'm going to get that senior title. That was the only time where we had the expectation. But later on, when we learned and understood the real meaning of leadership and influencing other people, growing or enabling other people, these titles never mattered to us.
Mhm.
Okay, it came to us. We never chased them thereafter. Very now the level of expectations have changed. People are very, I mean, they want everything very quickly. They want those early success, early money, early title. Attention, who will be watching this, that title? The moment you start, doing it without a title and proving things, you are established as a leader. You are established as a leader. And yes, coming to your question now, sir, that what would have changed in my life if I got that good leadership training back then. Yeah, there are few things. As I told you, we are coming from the background where English as a language was not much and popular. So if we got those formal trainings about leadership, we could have navigated those crucial conversation with those difficult people.
Mhm.
Okay, management could have been
Thank you for providing those inputs. Definitely puts a lot of weightage for how things would have been different for you from yesterday till today. So now let's move to for some fun questions. Your audience, your people who love you want to know few different side about Anoop Ramchandran. So I will be asking five rapid fire question. Anoop, you don't have time to really think about it, but it's coming right away right now. All right. So the first question, a quote you live by.
you. Quote which I live by is one of my very close friends' quote. Um, Inspect what you expect.
Inspect what you expect. Wow. Thank you. All right. Question number two, Anoop. Your go-to food that you can eat anytime, anywhere.
Oh, that will be curd rice.
All right. Very good. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I am a night owl. I am a night owl. It has been years.
Okay. Okay. Now, Googly, coming on to you. If your career were a Netflix series, what would be the title of season one be?
The master multitasker.
The master multitasker. Wow, very
Yes.
good. And coffee or chai for before you go for a high stake meeting?
Sir, it is coffee, black coffee.
Cool, cool. Black coffee, mine too, mine favorite. All right, so team, we are coming towards the last segment of our show. We had a fun rapid fire, and thank you for participating, Anoop. Uh, the
Sure,
three
sir.
things, the three golden nuggets that probably I have taken away from the episode so far. Number one, feedback as a fuel, or don't take feedback as a failure. Feedback as a fuel. Clarity beats speed. That was a good one. Clarity
Yes,
beats
sir.
speed. And I think the another thing that probably Anoop touched base upon is leadership is not about a title. It's more about self-awareness, knowing ourselves. So those are the three
Yes,
things
sir.
that I take away from this episode. Please let us know in the comments what are your takeaways. And before I let Anoop go from our studio, Anoop, what are your advice for our next generation of leaders? What are your final words of wisdom for them?
So, first is take ownership. Be accountable for what you are doing. Okay. Act with empathy. Commit to your own growth. Be very clear what you want to achieve, what you want to do. Okay. Speak up, even your voice shakes. Okay. If you are not even confident, probably you are facing any, challenges with the language, it is okay. It is completely fine because your story matters, not the language.
Mhm.
So these are my few uh, you know
Tips or words of
takeaways, or
encouragement.
for people who are watching uh, this podcast. Yeah. And for those emerging leaders who wants to leave an impact and want to create some adventure and want to have a good steady state growth.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So I think on that note, I will advise our emerging leaders definitely to watch this episode. That is number one. Number two, share this
Mhm.
episode with someone you think would get inspired. And number three, take control of your growth. You and only you is the person who is between you and your growth. There's no one else. Stop thinking
Correct.
about
Yes.
someone else. Stop thinking about getting validation. Stop thinking about someone else taking the ownership of you. No one else will take the ownership. We have to take that ownership. On that note, I definitely thank you for listening to our episode, and thank you, Anu, for joining us on our episode. I know we have a series of sessions or spoken to this before to really plan this way. I really appreciate all the help, all the support that you have given, and wishing you loads of success, and to you and to your organization. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah.